Seomoon concludes his air show by defeating the last falling player of Incheon BC. He then proceeds to deal with the ones who didn't fall. One by one, Seomoon effortlessly increases his kills, calling this much easier than defeating any underworlder. And just like that, he sets up a record in an official match of getting an all-kill. With his 11 kills, people call it witnessing the birth of a monster on the Korean battlefield. He also showed an all-kill previously in his practice match, but doing so in an official post-season match holds a different importance. People seem to have gone wild with cheers for Seomoon, while to him it was such a small deal that he can't understand why people are cheering for him this much. Naeun is shocked that Seomoon isn't bothered that he just recorded the first all-kill in this league's history. Naeun tries to convince him that he indeed pulled off something really impressive, even though they both know that he would have been able to destroy the opponent the same way even if he belonged to the KB1 league. Seomoon agrees to that and then starts feeling sorry for the worn-out and embarrassed players of the Incheon BC, since it feels like he joined a kid's fight while being an adult. Naeun wonders if he is planning to sit out for the third match, while Coach Gabriel also appears to have the same thought. He suggests Seomoon sit out for the third match so the new players can gain some experience while the players of Incheon BC have still yet to recover from the trauma Seomoon just gave them. Hence, Seomoon decides to sit out for the next 2 matches and fight the last one if his team fails back-to-back. Gabriel, however, is confident that it won't happen, and just like he said, YSM wins the third match as well, with Choi Hyuk securing 3 kills and 3 assists and becoming the MVP. This indeed serves important as the public witnesses YSM being a strong team even without Seomoon participating. In the interview later, Seomoon expresses pride over his performance, of course, something to be expected from a narcissist. He even shares that this wasn't even half of what he is capable of, but he feels bad to put down Incheon BC that brutally. The interviewer lastly asks if he wants to give their next opponent, SP, any message. Seomoon clears his throat and passes a sickly arrogant smirk before telling them he doesn't think much of them either. It wasn't just an arrogant warning, but YSM proved that they did not fear SP at all. And just like before, they defeated SP by winning the first 3 matches, while Seomoon once again earned numerous kills and assists. Seomoon made YSM even stronger, and with his monstrous spear range and strong capabilities, the team was on a roll this postseason. The comments after the 2 rounds are nothing but wild praise for Seomoon Yeep. People talking about how they need no comparison anymore as Seomoon stands on top without any fight. This event raised the name of Korea in front of others, while previously Korean teams weren't even near when people talked about strong battlefield teams. The hero of the underworld has started his journey of earning the title of the hero of the battlefield as well. This doesn't stop nationally. The Moro brothers of the Paris Lamire have all the money ready to recruit Seomoon Yeep Tot Air team. They can't stop praising Seomoon for his performance in the 2 rounds and keep gushing about his long-range attack. As nobody ever thought of using Vision Relay this way, they know not to ignore Jo Sung-go's role in assisting Seomoon, but of course Seomoon's use of his skills independently is amazing enough for strong team owners to take note of him. The brothers are so eager to have him on his team that they even get ready to recruit Sung-go to use that long-range attack, since it is going to be his trademark now. The 2 are very excited since they know that if Seomoon wasn't ready to play on battlefields, they would have no chance of recruiting him, but now that he has officially entered as a player in an official league, they can offer him as much as he demands to get him on their team. But Paris Lamire is not the only one ready to bet their everything on the winter trade market on Seomoon. In Berlin, a similar conversation strikes up when the owner of the team Berlin Blitz, John Behrman, gets to see coach Emre Casa personally in his office to talk. Emre either sends messages to the owners or discusses stuff with other coaches. Seeing him means the topic is of a pretty big signing. Emre announces to Behrman that he wants to recruit Seomoon Yeep.
From researching and script writing to editing and mastering our best manhwa review channel, I will work hard to roll out the highest quality manhwa entertainment videos twice or more a week. If you like what I do here, please consider supporting the channel. To learn more about how to support the channel, check out the link in the description box down below, and if you can't give or simply don't even feel like it, that's okay too. I am just happy you're here. Thank you so much.
Within the world, there are plenty of battlefield teams, but just like any other sport or competition, there are only 3 who earn the title of being the best of all. The strongest team on the battlefield is known to be the Paris Lamire BC, owned by the Moro brothers. The team has Nathan Bernach and Chichi Lucas at the center, with the rest of the team members also being star players with their amazing skills. They are called the Flames of Europe. The second team is the Walking Fortress, the New York Bears. They have Gerald Walker as their center player, creating a tough defensive line against the opponent. The third strongest team is the Berlin Blitz, led by one of the 7 superheroes Emre Kasa. The team has the perfect strategy to crush their opponent and focuses on one of the strongest players, Daniel Mainz. Paris Lemire and Berlin Blitz are known to have a history of rivalry against them among the top 3 teams. Behrman can't believe his ears at this request. Emre tries to convince Behrman, who understands his demand but shares a very serious concern. Behrman knows that Emre and Seomoon never get along in terms of their strategies of play, so it is almost impossible that Seomoon would listen to Emre as a coach if recruited into their team. A flashback from 17 years ago shows the two bantering in the middle of the dungeon when Emre tells Seomoon that they don't work well with each other, and Seomoon mocks him like a kid, saying he shares the same thoughts. The two are arguing over whether challenging this dungeon is a good idea or not. Beck asks Tiram to stop them, while Tiram enjoys their 151st fight with popcorn in his hands. Beck wonders what happens to the two when planning out strategies, as they are just fine and getting along other than this. Behrman tries to convince Emre that Seomoon would never listen to his orders, and that they are one of the best teams in the world, even without the recruitment of Seomoon. Of course, this isn't a good statement for anyone thriving to become the best every day. Emre isn't interested in becoming one of the best, he wants his team to be the best of all. They have a lesser win count against Paris Lumiere, and lately, New York Bears have been showing rapid growth as well. He doesn't want to earn second place anymore, but be the ultimate champion. Behrman feels pressured by the words of Emre as Emre pesters him about the possibility of Seomoon going to the Paris Lumiere, if not their team. Behrman tries to insist that Seomoon only has experience in the Korean leagues and won't be that strong in competitions internationally. But being someone who has personally experienced Seomoon in the dungeons, Emre can bet his entire career on the fact that Seomoon Yeep is going to become the best of all. Not being able to convince Emre, Behrman finally gives in and asks how much money he needs to bid for Seomoon. The next words of Emre make Behrman freak out in shock as Emre casually demands 180 million euros to bid for Seomoon. The last round for the post-season is YSM against the Ocean Empire, but of course, nobody from the YSM feels nervous. Why would they when they have Seomoon Yeep as their teammate? Maybe like Incheon BC and SP. Even Ocean Empire is thinking of just focusing on preparing for the next post-season, as nobody stands a chance against Seomoon Yeep. YSM easily wins the first match against the Ocean Empire. In the break, Gabriel suggests Seomoon sit out for the next matches, making Seomoon confused since he doesn't feel tired.
Also, quick reminder, as we are going through the recap, if you are new to the channel, some of you watching are not already subscribed, and if that's you, and you want to guarantee you're always up to date with all good content like this, so feel free to hit that subscribe button and join us on the road to 1 million subs. And if you enjoy the video, or if you found it interesting, let me know by dropping a like and comment on it as well, would be seriously appreciated. Let's continue.
But Gabriel shares his evil intentions, that he wants to test what the rest of the team is going to do since most of the players don't have much experience, and it's about time they built some. Of course, an evil idea would always seem interesting to Seomoon, so he agrees with Gabriel's plan. In the second match, they switched the position of Jongwon to a secondary tank to effectively protect the team from the back and made Choi Hyuk the main tanker since his strength reached 85 and the rest of the stats have improved as well. This strategy works out well for the team as it brings out the best qualities of these players. Choi Hyuk wasn't made for the secondary tank, as that position used to make him hesitate on whether he should attack or not. Meanwhile, Jongwon has spent so much time in a weak team that he tends to take a lot of pressure and limit his vision and thinking. So fighting from the back would put some load off of him and he will be able to build up good strategies. Impressed by his Seomoon's thought process, Gabriel asks if he has some kind of secret to be this good at figuring out people. Seomoon shares that he used to have to gather new people for every dungeon attack, since only Beck and occasionally Tiram were the ones who used to be consistent with him. This made him insightful and came to a point where he can recognize the true nature of people just by looking at them. Seomoon is confident that Gabriel would be able to do that soon too, while Gabriel shares the thought of making Sungo the main play caller. The two are disrupted by a raised hand of none other than Dongjun. Even before the poor guy could share his thoughts, Seomoon coldly warns him not to say something nerve-wracking again. Sad at the cold behavior of Seomoon, Dongjun mentions a lot of trade offers coming in. Seomoon mentions this not being the right team as the players and the team needs to go up to the KB1 league for them to get better contracts. Dongjun cuts him off, telling him those offers are for him, not the other team players. People are offering a minimum value of 100 million to recruit him. Gabriel finds finds this perfect as he would like Seomoon to go to Paris to the Moro brothers for them to get good money. Upon Seomoon's confusion, Gabriel shares that his presence would only make the team the best in Korea. To become the world's best, they need to recruit international players, and the money for that would come from selling Seomoon. The conversation ends with the appearance of a more urgent issue. YSM managed to win the second match but lost the next 2 matches. So Seomoon gets back into the last match to earn YSM the title of the winners of the KB2 League. After winning the league, they managed to sell 4 players at a price better than expected. To refill the positions, Seomoon hands a whole list of potential players to recruit after Gabriel mentions the need for many damage dealers and a secondary tanker. Chapter 49. Seomoon rides on his bike wondering whether he should go to Paris Lumiere, but then he decides to first focus on making YSM stronger. He reaches Seonghun High where he asks for the 2 players. He wants to recruit from there, but one of them has already been recruited while the other retired. Before he could take his leave, the coach stops him and recommends a player that has graduated. The coach mentions him being good enough for Seomoon's interest, but he got into some bad company and is not focusing on the battlefield these days. The coach guarantees that Park Youngmin isn't that bad even if his company is, and Seomoon gets interested once he hears Youngmin is a close-range dealer, ready to see for himself whether the kid is in trouble or not. He asks for Youngmin's whereabouts. A bunch of gangster kids are seen to be playing video games on the Gangnam PC when one of them is asked by the owner to stop smoking. The muscular guy gets up and intimidates the old guy by pushing him to the ground and burning his hand after threatening him about Youngmin being a superhuman who can cause greater damage. The guys continue to smoke and be loud and abusive when Seomoon appears there wearing a helmet and wanting to talk to Youngmin. He sees Youngmin and tells him he isn't that bad after checking his stats, but before Youngmin could react, that mannerless muscular guy tries to act bossy and rude to Seomoon. Of course, it doesn't end well for him. Seomoon is offended by the lack of mannerisms of all these people and asks them to learn how to speak. He tells them he wore a helmet to keep things peaceful and quiet, but their lack of manners seems to be turning the situation otherwise. Of course, those young kids who think they are a big deal decide to act cool. One of them hits Seomoon with a bench from behind thinking he did something awesome and telling Seomoon to think before messing with them. The next moment, that guy passed out with bleeding nostrils on the other side of the room. Seomoon warns them that the guy attacked him first, so all he did was only self-defense, and they are all gonna pay for that stupid guy's mistake. The rest also decide to attack Seomoon while Youngmin suddenly notices his eyes through the helmet and realizes that whoever the helmet guy is, he is a superhuman. He tries to warn his friends, but it is too late as one by one all of them are brutally beaten. Once all the bad guys are passed out, Seomoon lifts off his helmet and grins at Youngmin ready to talk with him. Youngmin can't believe his eyes, but there is also a different set of eyes witnessing this. Girl in the gaming zone hides and records the whole fight.
Hi, you are watching.
If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to watch more videos like these, turn on notifications, and leave a like and comment to help the channel out. From researching and script writing to editing and mastering our best manhwa review channel, I will work hard to roll out the highest quality manhwa entertainment videos twice or more a week. If you like what I do here, please consider supporting the channel. To learn more about how to support the channel, check out the link in the description box down below, and if you can't give or simply don't even feel like it, that's okay too. I am just happy you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you on the next video.